Can creativity be learned? Do you think creativity is a natural gift, exclusive to artists, inventors, or eccentric geniuses? What if I told you that, according to science, thinking outside the box is a skill anyone can develop? Did you know that children ask about 100 questions a day until they're 5 and then stop? What happens to our creativity as we grow up? According to research by Kyung-Hee Kim, creativity scores have been declining among K-12 students since 1990, despite rising IQ scores. In this video, we'll explore where good ideas come from, what happens in the creative brain, and what Salvador Dali, Thomas Edison, and even your sleep have to do with it. Get ready to understand how to train your mind to become more creative. Number 1. Creativity, talent, or trainable? Myths versus truth. Myth: you're either born creative or not. Truth: creativity can be trained, just like any cognitive skill. Another myth: creativity is only for artists. Truth: creativity exists in all areas: science, technology, business, and beyond. For centuries, most people believed creativity was mysterious, reserved for a few. But in recent decades, psychologists and neuroscientists have begun to decode this mystery. And the truth emerged: yes, creativity can be learned. The creative mind can be stimulated. And no, you don't need to be an artist to be creative. These myths are now outdated. Number 2. The secret of Dali, Edison, Einstein, Da Vinci, and Steve Jobs. Salvador Dali had a peculiar trick to overcome creative blocks. He'd nap in a chair while holding a key over the edge. Below, there was a metal plate on the floor. As soon as he fell asleep, the key would drop, hit the plate, and wake him up. Still groggy, he'd return to work, often with fresh ideas from that semi-conscious state. Thomas Edison used the same technique, but with metal balls. This explores a mental state called hypnagogia, the transition between wakefulness and sleep. Science has shown that it can boost creativity. Einstein played the violin while reflecting on scientific problems. Leonardo da Vinci obsessively observed and took notes. Steve Jobs held meetings while walking. That's no coincidence. Number 3. Where do ideas come from? The idea that humans are creators is relatively new. In ancient times, artists were thought to merely reproduce nature, not create something from nothing. The muses, divine sources of inspiration, were considered the true authors of works. It wasn't until the Renaissance, and later Romanticism, that humans began to be seen as inventors. But exactly how do great ideas emerge? Number 4. Divergent versus convergent thinking. In the 1950s, psychologist J.P. Guilford laid the foundation for the scientific study of creativity. According to him, our thinking falls into two modes. Convergent thinking seeks one logical, structured solution. Divergent thinking explores multiple possibilities, connects unlikely ideas, and plays with alternatives. Creativity, Guilford argued, comes from divergent thinking, and this applies to all fields, from art to science. Number 5. So, what exactly is creativity? You can recognize creativity when you see it. But explaining exactly what it is, well, that's much harder. The standard definition among scientists is that something creative must be both new and useful. But this idea is debated. How do you measure the usefulness of a painting or a poem? Some suggest replacing useful with relevant or context-appropriate. Others, like psychologist John Cunios, prefer to focus on the process, reorganizing concepts to form something new, surprising, and meaningful. Number 6. Small c and big C creativity. Another important point: there's a difference between small c and big C creativity. Small c, everyday creative ideas. A clever pun, an improvised recipe, an unusual gift. Big C, impactful projects like a book, an invention, or a major campaign. Number 7. Can creativity be measured? It's hard, but possible. One famous method is the alternative uses test. Give someone a common object, like a plastic cup, and ask them to think of as many different uses as possible. The more original and varied the ideas, the higher their creative potential. Or the divergent association task, described in the caption below this video. The participant writes 10 random words. A software then analyzes how different they are and gives a creativity score. Of course, these tests only measure potential, not real-life application. Number 8. What happens in the creative brain? Have you heard the myth that the right side of the brain is creative and the left is logical? Forget that, it's a myth. Creativity involves cooperation between 3 neural networks. 1. Default mode network, active when we daydream. This is where insights arise. 2. Cognitive control network, evaluates ideas, discards bad ones, selects promising ones. 3. Salience network, acts as a bridge between the other two. These networks, which usually work separately, must collaborate during the creative process. And it's this unlikely interaction that generates truly new ideas. And that famous eureka moment? Science has mapped it too. EEG studies show that seconds before a creative insight, the brain activates a burst of gamma waves, an electrical pattern associated with rapid reorganization of information. In other words, that brilliant idea that seems to come out of nowhere is actually the result of an invisible process culminating in a neural spark. Number 9. Creativity and sleep. Remember Dolly's trick? In 2021, researchers at the Paris Brain Institute tested the idea. Volunteers faced a math problem with a hidden solution. After a break, those who reached the hypnagogic state solved the problem 3 times faster than others. During light sleep, parts of the brain that normally don't communicate begin interacting. Result? Unexpected connections, the fuel of creativity. Number 10. Can creativity be trained? Yes. Although genetic and personality factors are involved, such as high openness to experience, creativity can be stimulated through practice. Try something new. Break routines. Seek references from different fields. Challenge your brain to make unexpected connections. One practical tool is the Scamper method, used in innovative companies and even creative schools. Scamper stands for 7 ways to provoke new ideas: substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, and reverse. Each action forces the brain to step out of its usual patterns and look at the problem from a new angle. It works almost like strength training for the mind. Even ordinary ideas can take on new forms. Number 11. Why creativity matters in the job market. According to the World Economic Forum, WEF, creativity will be one of the most important skills in the future of work. Reports like the Future of Jobs Report, 2020 and 2025, looking ahead to 2030, list creativity among the top competencies, alongside analytical thinking, adaptability, and digital skills. This is due to the rise of automation and artificial intelligence, which are replacing repetitive tasks but still cannot replace human creativity in complex problem-solving areas where people still hold the advantage. Given all this, we can say that, in the end, creativity is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Or like a plant that needs light, water, and care to grow. Now that you understand how creativity works and that it can be trained, transformed, and nurtured, here's the most important question: how can you do it? There are complex techniques covered in this video, but how can you exercise creativity in daily life? Here are 5 practical tips to awaken and strengthen your creative side. 1. Diversify your experiences. Avoid living on autopilot. Read things you wouldn't normally read, talk to people outside your bubble, try unknown flavors, listen to different music genres, watch films from other countries, etc. Creativity is, above all, the connection between different references. And the more varied those references are, the more surprising your ideas can be. 2. Relax, for real. Your brain creates best when it's at peace. Walking, listening to music, meditating, or even being bored are mental states that favor divergent thinking. Stress is the enemy of innovation. 3. Change your environment. Stepping out of your usual space can unlock your mind. A walk, a new cafe, or simply switching rooms at home can open new mental windows. 4. Write everything down. Brilliant ideas often appear at the most unexpected moments. Always carry a way to record them: voice recorder or phone note app. Even if it seems silly now, that idea might be the starting point for something amazing later. 5. Tolerate mistakes. Creating requires courage. And courage includes failing. Mistakes are part of the creative process, and many innovations came from attempts that initially seemed to fail. Don't punish mistakes, learn from them. Creativity isn't magic. It's practice. It's neuroscience, context, curiosity. And like any human skill, it grows when exercised. Now that you know creativity is a trainable skill, why not start practicing today? Whether it's creating a new recipe, writing down an unusual idea, or simply letting your mind wander before sleep. Remember, good ideas don't come out of nowhere. They're born from chaos and the courage to connect the unexpected. Sometimes, the best idea is just one distraction away. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe.